Hey friends, welcome back. Today we are going to try some color burst powders in our art journal today. I cannot wait to show you how this works. Make sure you like and subscribe, get the journal prompts, and stay tuned to the end because I have a little bonus video for you. All right, see you inside. Today I'm excited to show you what I'm going to do with some color burst powders. I have my brush that is a number 5 fusion brush, and I'm going to be using the peony pigmented powders along with the marigold. So I'll have all these linked, and I am using it in my art journal that is coated with acrylic paint. So I will tell you, this will slide a little bit and pool in different places, but I really like it. Gives it a really unique look to the flower. So P in our month of April journal prompts is for peony. And as you can see, I'm just doing some little shapes here. Here's my advice for you on doing this peony yourself. Watch the video, pause the video, try one shape. Watch the video again, pause it, do the next shape. Give yourself time and lots of grace. So I'm going to come around here, and I love pressing with this brush as it spreads the paint out really well. And when you use the tip of it, you will get more of a saturation on this page that's covered in acrylic paint. Now make sure you leave these little white spaces in between each of your petals. And don't forget, this is loose and watery. It is not exact. And that, my friends, is half the fun with this. So I did my initial shapes. I'm going to come back in on the bottom and add a little bit more pigment in here with just the tip of my brush. It will stay pooled like this because, again, we're working on acrylic paint on top of paper. And you can play with it and move it around where you like. Again, I'm using the peony red and just a little tiny bit of the marigold orange. And this is the floral edition of these pigment powders. I'm going to start working toward the back. Again, leaving that white space and going up and around the petals that I've already put in. This will be my main last petal back here. Make it a little bit darker on the bottom and then move that paint around. Now these are highly, highly pigmented paints, and I am using a ton of water in them to dilute it so that it comes out soft and flowy like this. So I've left a big space in the middle. And I'm going to come in at the very bottom of this last petal I did and add, again, a little more pigment to it. And now I'm going to add some of the yellow. The pigment powder in the yellow is called Naples yellow, and it is green when it comes out. So don't let it fool you. Just make sure you mix it really well. I've added just a tiniest bit of orange to kind of darken it a little. And I'm still trying to leave the white spaces in the center. And I'm going to go back, maybe make this a little bit lower, this back petal here. Kind of define it with a little bit of pigment. And when I go back and forth, if I feel like there's too much paint or water on my brush, I will dab it on a cloth, an old cloth that I have sitting in my studio. So I'm going to add a little bit more, and it kind of bled up into the flower petal, but I'm going to either leave it or deal with that later. So I'm going to come back up here, add some more pigment again. It's a little bit drier. And just deepen that color. And you can play around with your colors. If you like it more pink, stay with the red. Play around with diluting it. You could even add a little bit of the purple in here. And I think I'm going to come up here where it bled through since it dried. And I'm going to go around this and then kind of dot around. Now we're working on the leaves, and I am using a combination of the green pigment powder, which is called sap green, a little bit of the yellow, and just literally the most minute amount of blue. The blue I have found is the most pigmented of the powders, and it will overwhelm pretty quickly. But a combination of like the green and a little bit of orange gives it a brown tint. It deepens that green. And then when you add the blue, it gives it that almost like the silver dollar eucalyptus color, which I really like. So I'm just going to do a few of these little leaves. And this is where the stem will eventually go. I'm thinking we call this like the crown. I forget. I don't know what it's called. It's that part right underneath the bloom that connects the bloom and the stem. I play a lot with this. It's super, whoops. That's fun. Okay, so that's red. I did not really want red in there, so I'm going to go through, put some water on my brush, go over it, and blot it with a paper towel. Okay, literally, I was just going to say, this is a super forgiving way to use watercolor because on the acrylic, like I said, it will slip and slide and it doesn't grab the toothiness of a watercolor paper and stay. So for beginners, this is a fun way to experiment with these powders and watercolors. So I'm mixing up some more paint. I think a little bit darker green. And I love using the tip and kind of giving the big leaf in the back a raggedy edge to it. And I'm going to leave some white in the middle, little tiny line of white space, and just move it up here. Kind of form and shape the leaf as I go. I will tell you, I have not mastered this brush whatsoever, but I love it. It's really fun to play with because it holds a lot of paint, but at the same time, the tip is super, super fine. And it's just fun to kind of flatten it and move it around the page in a leaf shape. Okay, so here I added some more yellow. I think I like this. It's pretty bright, so I'm going to take some of that paint off with my brush, but then I'm going to go through and add that yellowy green in through my other leaves so that the line of yellow kind of continues through the painting. I'll try a stem. Oh, not a whole lot of paint on that. I'm going to go back and pick up some more. I'm going to add some more leaves. Again, leaving that white space in there. Oh, that's fun. I like that. Just going to add some deep green in here. Again, you can deepen that green using some orange, some purple, some blue. Yeah, I probably ought to dab it with a towel instead of using my finger. I'm so used to just painting with my finger, it's ridiculous. Then I'm just gonna add this in here. See how I've left just that little white space even between the flower and that crown and the stem. Darken this up a little bit. One thing I'm learning with this brush is when I pick up paint, I need to roll my brush in it because it flattens out and I need that tip. So I'm going to come back up here. It's dry, and I'm going to add some more paint, and I'm going to cover up that little yellow splotch where the middle of it bled through. I'm not usually that picky, but I just think in this one, I think I will do that. And then I'm going to come through, kind of wash out that hard line and blend that pigment in there. Again, just using my paper towel to blot up some of that excess water. And I'm just going to come through and deepen some of these lines a little bit. There you have it. You will have a beautiful one too. I promise, just give yourself some time. It's a lot of fun. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to have a bonus video for you on another peony that's going to be even easier with the same pigment powders. See you later.